to the end.
Gather round, kids. Time to test my latest invention, the dynamo. What's it do? I'll demonstrate. It shows a cutscene from the main game.
Huh?
Means it makes electricity. Precisely. What's it just used for? To help you. We'll use this contraption to light up the town. And lights aren't going to keep away pirates, but whatever. Now, Tesla coils doesn't keep away pirates. You know, I think my favorite part about this is they just leave the zombie hamster in there running this whole time.
Look out!
No. So we're just kind of skipping through this because I'm pretty sure this is like the exact same cutscene as last time.
It's cool. I can.
Okay.
What can we? No! Hit the die!
Okay, so now we should be in new territory. Because last time we just skipped ahead a few hours and she was fine.
What in the world happened?
It was a really dumb cutscene, honestly. Good morning, Blake Janelle, Black File, and Yura. Dark magic must have overloaded her body. She's been knocked unconscious.
What do we do now?
Yeah, we can't just leave her like this. Just a moment. Perhaps we can use this opportunity to help Shantae before she wakes up. There, you see that? The dark magic that exploded out of her, some force is drawing it back in. Call me crazy, but I bet one of us can enter that vortex and rescue her from the inside. Assuming the good Shantae is trapped somewhere in there, one of us can make contact and bring her back. Mister, you are crazy. Even if it works, who knows what evil lurks in her corrupted mind. There's so many directions to take that joke. I'll go with the low-hanging fruit. She might even enjoy the sequel trilogy. If we provoke her, she could destroy us with a single thought.
I'll go.
Ugh, Bolo.
No offense, Bolo, but we're trying to save her, not make things worse.
Aww.
I suppose you think you should go? Who died and made you boss cow?
I should be the one.
A zombie? No way, you're the last person Shantae would want inside her brain. She'd like it most because I like her brain the most. Stop it, stop arguing with me or you're going to...
Now!
Wait. And that's a thing. And thank you, Sean. I was never going to skip this one. I just thought we had time last night, and we didn't. I didn't want to rush it. And I want to thank you very much for the sub. I'll put that towards the usual. Is this... Are we inside her mind? Yeah, that's what my mind looks like, too. It's like a storm. Like a nightmare. Blasted all that, I'm stuck out here by myself. What am I going to do if she wakes up? Fend her off with a broom handle? Sounds like you kids made it in anyway. Yeah, we're in here, inside her mind. How are we hearing you? I call it the nightmare realm. Who cares what you call it? Listen, you gotta find Shantae before it's too late. And play this song from the last game. Right, you can count on me.
You two wait here. I can handle this myself.
No way, hero stuff is my jam. I'm going through.
I say we split up.
You two slowpokes will just get in my way. No, Triax here. Listen up, you kids. Teamwork. It's the only way we'll be able to help her by working together.
Ugh.
Trust these two numbskulls?
Okay, I guess.
I know you can do it. May your bonds of friendship be as strong as steel. But we hate each other. All the rest of you, Evo. Listen up, kids. To survive Shantae's twisted memories, you three will need to work as a team. First, let's learn about Bolo. He can use the Spring Claw. He's got this mechanic. This is a tutorial. You cannot do that from an angle. Good morning, Ross. Good morning, Glenn Falkenstein. Hello, Trax. But anyways, no. So the way that works is we don't remove negative things from. Let's say there's a bad scene, and it sucks, and it's a negative. Then later on, something's like, oh wait, that bad scene isn't as bad because we did something else to explain it. That doesn't remove the negative because, critically, it's still a bad scene. What it would do, in a hypothetical situation, is then add a positive. That's kind of the whole point of the more nuanced take of the review system we've been using, honestly, ever since we came back. By the way, I've been looking at this score. The HUD is up to date right now. I have a feeling this game will actually outscore the previous one in overall golden number. And I think at least a decent chunk of that is going to be because of the DLC stuff that came out after the game came out. That's a pretty big chunk of positives. But you'll notice the story axis is substantially worse. And I think that tracks for me, personally. Because the previous game, was a solid experience all around, and this one is a good game with a lacking story. Hey, Valerian. So, anyways, Roddy's superpower is throwing her head. That's how you get ahead of the... Whoops. Accidentally ate some brains there. Yeah, I didn't mean to get ahead of myself. I've got to face it head on. Oh my god. Listen, puns are the best. We all know this. But I do want to kind of head off Evo before she goes crazy with these puns. So, yeah. You remember how Curse of the Moon lets you just swap between arrows? Now, it's not quite Curse the Moon, so it's not going to be the same level of positives. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you. Because the first time we ever used wrench, all the way back in the very first game, wrench has been used as a wrench. Hey, Five. Hey, Loner. No, Loner. I've still got another one of these Shantae games left at this point. I'm not going to, like, stop one game before the end of the series, and then suddenly start up Baldur's Gate 3.
Hey.
It's like the other day when Risky Boots attacked.
Don't you see?
We're inside her mind. It's only natural experiencing her memories.
So this is her brain, eh?
Such torture. Zombie cruelty. I'm going to an all-you-can-eat buffet with no spoon. That's okay. You've got a fork. Shh, let me think. After I dropped her off, Shantae chased Risky's Tinkerback room all over town. I bet it was a distraction so she could swap the blueprints. Well, let's hurry. If we're quick, we can keep it from happening. Yeah, then everything will be back to normal.
You numbskulls!
Changing the outcome in here won't have any effect on the outside world. What I'm trying to make is we know where Shantae will be. Therefore, we can head her off and force a conversation. Just leave the thinking to me, okay? And leave the hips to Roddy, apparently.
Hurry! Boy!
Whoop. I mean, Portal is an extraordinarily short game, so that doesn't surprise me. This is the mode here. We've beaten the main game. We're done. We're done. She's got a boomerang. A birderang? I mean, I'm pretty sure we've given every Shantae game a plus for music, even the original, so. You better get a friggin' plus to music. Something's gone wrong somewhere.
Got it!
We found a dream squid. Why are you dreaming of squids, Shantae? Oh, that's it. She's just really excited for Baldur's Gate 3, just like everybody else.
Nice!
Oh god. Yeah, she's remembering the heart squids from the previous game. Interesting. I'm not sure what levels do for us in this context. Honestly, ditto, Yura. I actually like most of the visuals in this game. But I think the towns are what work the best. Like the area we're in right now, for example. But also the actual town, which, when it's not giving me nausea, is actually pretty decent. Speaking of which, Evo, if you ever watch the VOD of this, listen to Past Me and do not watch when we're in town. Trust me on this one. Is it comfy, Micromono? Oh god, look at her attacks. She detaches her leg and it hits you with it. No, I'm actually being serious, Eva. It's gonna be headache-inducing. You're already not feeling great. Yeah, we have. It's. I know I tend to be a little bit more susceptible to nausea and headaches than most people, but trust me when I say, no, really, it's bad. Hey, Crazy Norse. Yeah, no, whoever didn't playtest that needs to be friggin' fired. Oops. There. I think they have different magic bars too. I think it's also partially the camera issue in general, which, you see this problem right here? I've actually already given it a negative for that, too. Because the thing is, it's doing the Donkey Kong Country 2 thing. Notice our position on the screen. We're just a little bit to the left of center. And the camera tries to keep you just a little bit off-center like that. Do you see that? Which means when you're trying to do finite maneuvers like this, the camera just kind of wobbles back and forth. It's really disorienting and arguably shouldn't exist at all. Again, the Donkey Kong Country 2 problem, so I did give the game another negative for that. I'm pretty strong against heartburn. Like, I have had heartburn, but it's pretty easy for me to avoid it. Like, I gotta work at it to get a heartburn. There. Continue hitting the wrong button. Very important. I'll admit, preference-wise, I prefer the character to be in the middle of the screen. Among other things, it helps you to aim better, because you pretty much always know where your character is on said screen. But even ignoring preference, the wobble is unacceptable. That's the negative. She's doing this, Crazy Norse. It's literally like, have you ever seen baseball? Because this is how they throw baseballs in baseball. That's 1-to-1, really. Good morning, Walker. Yeah, the wind-up and the pitch. Well, first of all, adding in a bit of an adjustment layer would help. Adjustment layer is the wrong word. Adjustment timer. Right now, the camera's trying to instantly adjust anytime we move around like this. One thing you could do is you could have it not have that instantaneous thing, like say I did this and then this, but the camera doesn't change at all because it has a few seconds, maybe like about a second and a half, I would say, of, oh, now you're over here mode, and then go ahead and adjust that once you're done maneuvering. Another way you could do it is you could make it less, for lack of a better way to put it, wobbly. Oh, she's about to level 2. I'll go to see what level 3 is. Right now, the camera is... They're trying to make the camera look smooth, which means the camera looks wobbly. Better way to put it. So, instead of it being snappy or tight, you see how there's that, like, delay? And it looks like it's just kind of gyrating back and forth a little bit. Making that tighter might help. I'm not actually 100% sure about that one. I'd have to see it. I think it would help too. I'm not sure. Ooh, Subway. Hopefully you got a good Subway. And thank you, Mr. Red. Always appreciate the support. But I also appreciate your kind words. Is Half-Life not on the list? I feel like we had this discussion. That's a weird thing to not be on the list. So let's see, that would be Half-Life, Blue Shift, and the military one I can't even think of the name of. And then Half-Life 2, or no, then Black Mesa, and then Half-Life 2, and then Episode 1 and Episode 2. Which sounds like a lot, but it's actually not, because every single one of those games is only a few hours long. Yeah, I think that's what we do with that. Either way, I do appreciate you, Mr. Red. Thank you. One of these days, I'm going to win the lottery. And then I'm going to make you do the FF14 highlight reel. You know what I think it is? Whoops. I hit the wrong button for like the 50th time. I think it's that, well, obviously Half-Life 2 wasn't on the list, but we actually did do a Black Mesa review before the Oblivion line. So I think that's kind of where my thought process is there. Oh, you will, Mr. Red. You will! No, Darkrai. First and foremost, we've actually already reviewed Portal 1 and Portal 2. Out of the current system, even. So, we're not redoing this. Second, and arguably more importantly, no. Okay, this is frustrating. Yeah, Half-Life Alyx will never happen because VR. Yes, I know there's a way to play it outside of VR. It's still never happening. Oh my god, I cannot... Am I just trapped here? Is it just my life now? My jumps are so short. I just lost a level trying to get out of the frickin' pit. Jesus, that stupid squid. It had its revenge. And we're dead. Oh, I guess we'll see what happens when we die. Let me guess, we go back to the original beginning of the stage and lose all progress. Okay. Cool. What happens is Risky comes out in a bikini. Thank God! Ugh. I've been having too few bikinis in my life lately. Which I suppose would mean 0 in this case. Whoops. It's okay, one day we'll do the Metroid block and then I'll have all the bikinis. Except we probably won't because we'll be rushing. Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's a pretty solid block, Darkrai. We'll even get to end on a terrible note. Half-Life 2, Episode frickin' 2.
Level up.
To be continued. Never once. No, that's... Like it or not, Valerian, that's sort of become part of the job. Not that I mind, I should but it is a weird commonality in my life at this point. So, I'm glad to be able to assist in some small way. I mean, as we'll talk about, Half-Life 3 has not only come out, it's actually come out twice. But I get what you're saying. I'd just be amused. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time there's been some completely coincidental thing with regards to me streaming, and then something happens as a result of me streaming. Yeah, exactly, Darkrai. Has Valve ever titled a game 3? No, I'm pretty sure they're well aware of the meme at this point and are leaning into it. So, for those of you not aware, this is not a joke. I know I joke a lot. I know I meme a lot, but let's be very, very clear. Half-Life 3 has actually come out twice. Once was in the form of a written document, which was a detailing of the story and script of Half-Life 3, once the NDA finally ran out, done by the actual writer of the Half-Life series. That is, let's call it what it is, effectively what Half-Life 3 was going to be, and therefore we can say pretty definitively, that's Half-Life 3. That's not pulling it technically, that's not being facetious. That was Half-Life 3. Now, that'll probably never actually come out in game format, because it took so long it has been so long that the NDA died on it. That's probably never happening. But then they came out with a video game called Half-Life Alyx, which is Half-Life 3. That is a small spoiler, I'm not going to lie to you, but the truth is that Half-Life Alyx is a continuation of Half-Life 2. I'm not going to say how or why, but it is actually moving the series forward in microscopic proportions. So, if I hired Mr. Red right now to write a story for me, and didn't actually release it, then, generally speaking, what I would have done is I would have made Mr. Red sign an NDA, which lasts X amount of years. I forget what the standard is, but there's a standard for that. And he couldn't talk about the fact that he wrote that story for X amount of years. Now, once the NDA runs out, he can talk about all he wants. That's how an NDA works. NDAs are, by default, temporary documents, or temporary legal restrictions, more accurately. NDAs have expiration dates. Yes, Half-Life Alyx is the VR game. That is, as I just mentioned, Half-Life 3. Or at least as close to it as we're probably ever getting. Not counting the document. Actually, yes. Although those are a lot less common nowadays, Valerian. What was it? There was something that was contingent upon the death of Walt Disney. The guy, the individual. And I don't remember what the specifics were, but it was like 50 years after he died or something like that. And then they were finally able to talk about it. Now that's, of course, in the corporate world. In legal land, in the land of governments, usually there are specific NDAs, which, or not NDAs, what do they call it? Sealed documents, which last until, like, after, 50 years after the last person involved died or something like that. To make sure that nobody still alive can cause issues because of what their ancestors did, kind of a deal. Which, weirdly enough, is a pretty smart policy in my opinion. I know that sounds strange, but A, it ensures that history is still preserved and recorded, so someone someday will learn what actually happened, or as close to it as they can get. And B, there's a lot of good reason for not wanting to give people more reasons to hate each other and cause violence upon each other. You know? Like, I can't even, I would have to really, really work at it to come up with an analogy for this. I can't switch on one either. Okay, I can switch on these. Oh, never mind then. Okay, so Valerian secretly decided to eat my puppy. Now, in the doing so, Valerian was able to save the entire world, but Valerian did eat my puppy, and I'm pretty upset about that. So if that document just goes live immediately, not only would I be pissed about that, but probably my friends and family would be pissed about that. And just people who don't like puppy eating in general might be pissed about that. But if you wait until, you know, I'm long dead, and those documents are unsealed, then historically speaking, people are like, oh my god. And they might be like, oh my god, that Valerian ate puppies, but Valerian's dead of old age. And I'm dead. So there's like, it's a way to artificially try to curtail the cycle of vengeance problem. Whether it works or not is debatable, but I do agree with it in concept at least. Yeah, everyone's dead, a puppy's been eaten. That sucks. Moving on. Oh goody, here we are and Shantae isn't.
Way to go, bird brain. But I was so sure.
This is the exact time and place where Shantae battled Risky Boots and took back the blueprint. Your theory's blown, Professor.
Huh?
Hold up, we got company. Hello, Dr. Richard.
Queen of the Seven Seas.
What?
Two-witted relic hunting hunters always blah blah blah.
Hey.
So you see she's helping us by leaving us trail of memories to follow. Or the opposite, she could be using her memories to wipe us out. I found it real quick because Risky's wrapping up her speech. Blah blah. Don't call it that. I like the idea that Shantae just drones out Risky after a bit, so she literally just remembers her as saying blah blah blah. Risky Boots recall.
Keep firing!
Oh, that sucks. Oh, we're dead. See you around, Mr. Red. Yeah, I just was ignoring my health. I mean, Beastmasters are no joke in most settings, so... mean, hell, just look at... oh god, I can't think of his name. The kid from Rebels. Yeah, monster. Ezra, that's his name. And yeah, call me a weirdo. I like the fact that Valve is willing to experiment with their games, even though it's frustrating as a player. It's kind of nice.
Phew.
You know? Valve can afford to not release a game until they do it in VR because they're only interested in pushing forth the technology and blah, blah, blah. It sucks because I'd like to see more Half-Life and I'd like to see more Portal, but it's a lot better than the alternative, I would say. She managed to get the upper hand. We'll never have saved the half Genie run from a face where it's the death.
So long.
Huh?
Yeah, imagine if a Portal game came out every year, or even every other year.
But you said she was just a memory.
That would honestly probably suck.
What?
You mean she caught me staring? We all caught you staring, Bolo. This could be the first of many memories. We must keep going forwards.
All right.
Where are we? Another memory? Looks like it. I came here with Shantae to find the missing maiden. See? That's me over there. Hey, guy, looking good. This is awesome. What am I saying? Something heroic? You're always leaving me out. I'm sick of barfing in your shadow. I should be the hero. Wah.
Come on.
I will 100% finish the game today. This mode isn't that long. Although I am sad, it looks like I can't go back to find the squid I missed. So we're not getting all the squids, whatever that actually means. I'm sure it's something simple. I hope it's something simple. And not like, we just missed out on beating the last boss because you didn't get a squid. Sucks to be you. That's true, Darker. What's weird is they apparently decided that that was a failed experiment because they stopped doing it. And yet, from what I understand, it wasn't a failed experiment, at least not financially. So I'm curious what metric they used to decide to discontinue doing that. Turn around, Polo. Jesus. Is it just a bikini on screen? I mean, that would be funny.
Nice.
And on brand. Alas, we'll never have whoever it is in a bikini. How will we ever survive? Or don't, that's cool too. game won't let me backtrack in order to actually go get the thing. Okay, Sean, what do you want from me? There's only so much I can do, man. It's black. Had to look at it, admittedly, Sean. Or, X. I usually look at it. I know everyone likes the RGB thing. I don't even understand why. But,
Level up!
well, I usually stream in severe brightness, so that's not super helpful for me. Oh, we just missed 2 squids. Yeah, I'm just gonna give up on the squids. Death to squids. And death to the living. I mean, I admit if I had the choice, I'd probably have white parts because I like aesthetics. But white parts are almost universally more expensive, and this was already a pretty expensive computer. Okay. Just gonna accept that as a refill. Hypo just now. Correct. Listen, Crazy Horse, I'm sure they didn't get eaten. Right? Right? Interesting. Looks cool, but I mean, eh. Okay.
Level up!
Bolo? Louder. Unfortunately, well, this is neat and all, most of these aren't getting any kind of level positives, because, I mean, it's the same level. They've given us new tools to go through the same levels, but it's the same damn levels. This is pretty much exactly why we didn't play through all the other modes, either. Now, not all the stages will be the same. And we get swaps, that's neat. But you get my point. So let's see, we spent all day yesterday talking about Star Trek. Today we should talk about Star Wars, because I think that's a popular thing to talk about these days. So let's talk about why Kathleen Kennedy is fired and also the result of everything bad to ever happen in the history of the ever. Remember that time you were not invited to Billy's birthday party in 3rd grade? That was her. I'm in a weird space with Star Wars, because I'm absolutely very invested in making the Star Wars rewrite. I know I'm the only one, but it's still true. Oh, Jesus. Wait, really, Yura? I've never heard of this foreign currency. Is this real money? Does this really count as money? Interesting. You know, considering her deteriorating condition, wouldn't she be scraping all her skin off doing this? Oh right, it's in the lava escape stage when we're scraping all her skin off. Remind me what Sturgeon's Law is.
Aha!
Look, there's Bolo number 2.
Huh?
Why is he looking all dizzy and knocked out? Oh, that. I got clobbered defending Shantae from about 100 mermaids. Fought him off bravely, but then they saw my powerful muscles and realized what a saucy fellow I was.
Ugh,
Not
Bolo.
this again. Literally throwing themselves at me like starstruck.
Please stop talking.
And that's the reason. Tell your buddy here. Hey, what up? Techno Baron. Yarg! How did you get past my Technocrats? Only the Garden Genie and Runt should have been able to reach the top of my mermaid factory. There's no way 3 unmagical misfits could make it. Wrong, Gatorface. My zombie move saved the day. Sure, kinda, but it was my mad bolo ball skills that tipped the scales in our favor. My years of studying and training warbirds saved my skin. I didn't even break a sweat. Oh dear, how utterly disgusting. You 3 even more conceited than I am. No matter. I happen to know a queen-sized buoyant beauty who's big enough to cut those swollen egos of yours down to size. Boss fight.
Huh?
I'm gonna be the next opponent.
Lay out the juicy strat.
Alright, there was a mermaid, big green one. She was wearing seashells. She had long hair. Some of it was tied up into hair buns. Or jellyfish? It's hard to tell.
Ugh, Bolo.
Can't you remember anything besides what she looked like? No. I'd say there's a jellyfish. And we're dead. This is gonna suck doing this whole thing with only 3 hearts, I'm just gonna say. Like, we're on the first stage. And we're doing, like, all of them. These cutscenes are skippable. Kind of makes me wish that it continued to ape Curse of the Moon and allowed us to switch between them, and each of them had their own health bars, which at that point, swapping would be more about, you know, being strategic rather than just having a different moveset. But you can also swap in mid-movement, so whatever. Just conquered on the memory, did you? You're not closer to saving your friend than you were before. What a creep. Yeah, but Technoburg had a point, didn't he? Maybe it's time we set aside our differences and work as a team. Nah. My teamwork is fine. Yours stinks. Yours stinks. Mine was great. Never mind. Now, after Shantae feed the mermaids, where do you go next? For some reason, I can't remember a thing.
What?
Me neither. Oh, I know why. It's because while Shantae was fighting Mermaid, both of you had your memories stolen, remember? No. Nuh-uh. Well, I was there and I remember every detail. We just need to make sure things happen exactly as they did before.
Everything to me.
Come on, we have a lot of work to do.
Boom!
By the way, I looked it up. The picture you get if you get all the squids
Awful.
is you get a picture of Shantae in her pajamas. That's it. Anyways, that was awful. My body's aching all over. Why do we have to swap clothes and beat each other senseless with river trout? I told you we have to reenact the memory exactly like it happened. You both still sucking on those ghost peppers I gave you? Yeah. Okay then, we're here. The ruins of Old Tassel Town. Shantae came here to give you lost memories. Instead, she found the imposter.
Huh?
The fake Genie who took your memories, remember? Nope. She stole Shantae's job? Okay, I get it. God damn it. They don't remember.
Someone.
Someone remember me?
Oh well.
Goody, I'm alive all over again. Weird. This feels all kind of changed from last time. Why is that? It's because you're a memory of a memory inside another memory. How wonderful. It's like a glorious one-up loop. Now I'll be more powerful than ever.
Here, boy.
I want to see if my sweet Wilbur is back as well. Bye. Great, we just remembered the memory vampire. Also, obligatory Kingdom Hearts reference.
Let's go!
Oh, whatever. It'd be interesting if he just does tons more damage because, you know, he's so stupid he's immune to the memory vampire or something. I doubt they do something like that, but that would be amusing. Level down. Yeah, I gave up on the squids. There's no point in trying to do them if you're not doing all of them, and you can't backtrack, which means you have to do all of them in one go. Which means that is extraordinarily not accurate. Yeah, exactly. Would you, like, stop listening, please? Thank you. That's our last heal for the level. Not a very auspicious beginning, but you know, whatever. Oh, look, a squid. Stay down. Hey, look, a squid. I'm just trying to piss off all the 100%ers. That's really what I'm after here. Door with hit points, yeah. Speaking of. I mean, I'm pretty sure I qualify as a fan of that game at this point, Crazy Horse. Damn it! Accidentally picked up the thing. Yeah, we're dead. We might quit here, by the way. In fact, we might quit at any point in time, because I'm not committing to this. Doing all these stages with 3 hearts in general is something I'm not super enthused about. The fact that we're basically just doing the same stages over again is not helping it. FYI. The last I checked, Disney's doing just fine, but that's probably because of the fact that they make tons of money on things that most people aren't aware of. Like legal battles and real estate. How am I supposed to make this jump? How am I supposed to make that jump? Oh, that's how. Yeah. Let's go die on purpose so we can reset our health. Oh, they make ridiculous money on real estate. Like, let's look this up here. Let's see. I'm having trouble finding it now. Well, either way, last I checked, which was admittedly a couple months ago, Disney makes about 2/3 of their money off of real estate. Just owning land and renting it out. Working it, and of course the parks themselves. But yeah, most of Disney's money comes from stuff you've never really heard of. Yeah, McDonald's is a similar thing. It's actually a semi-common thing for companies to do it, to have their surface business and then have their other business which they make money off of. That's a weirdly common thing. I don't know why that happened, but okay. Oh yeah, Disney also brings in income from a huge number of sources. That's very true. I mean, that's always been true. Even if you ignore things like fairness and equality and, you know, the system being rigged in favor of rich people, which it totally is, by the way. But even ignoring that, the point is that if you have more money, you can take more risks, you can try more things, and you have a higher chance of actually succeeding by virtue of simply being able to do more than someone else could. In real life, I could make an attempt to invest or try something, and I might succeed. But if you have 100 times the money that I do, you can make that same investment risk 100 times over the same level of success rate. Like, I know I'm explaining this terribly because I'm a little distracted right now, but you get my point. Or if you don't, then I suck. So, yeah, whatever you're hearing about Disney imploding, it's a load of crock. Now, Apple buying Disney, that's a little trickier, because Apple is a ginormous company, to an extent that I don't think a lot of people really realize. And that's, well, problematic, to put it nicely. Happened, weirdly enough, I think that would mostly be business as usual if it did actually happen. Would I be in favor of it? No. Unlike the Microsoft acquisition, where there's at least a chance of things improving. If Apple takes over Disney, nothing's getting better in any direction. What's a duopoly act? Help me out here. You know, that's an interesting question. When did mid-mission checkpoints become a thing in gaming? Like, originally. See, I feel like I'm missing something, because a duopoly, like, what... For you to say that question means you're implying something. And probably have an opinion on the matter. But I have no understanding of why a duopoly would in any way be equivalent to a monopoly. And it's easy to explain why a monopoly is that. So, you're throwing me a bit with your question, mostly because I'm trying to figure out what you're after. What's your game here? So, alright. Oh yeah, and there's definitely some rubber banding going on. Because I'm staying so far ahead of them. Sort of ahead of Wilbur down there. But it's definitely like, oh, you're staying ahead of me, huh? Screw you, buddy. Like, near as I can tell, it's not true rubber banding. It's more like after a certain point in the stage, he just goes ahead to a certain point. Warps ahead, essentially. So anyways, I would play it by real-life historical perspective. Duopolies tend to be worse than monopolies. Explaining why would take me a minute. Give me a second. So everything wrong with monopolies is obvious. I don't need to explain anything there. But historically speaking, when you have a duopoly, what you have is two companies who are dead set on constantly pissing off the other side and screwing over the other side and wasting an inordinate amount of money trying to damage or hurt the other company involved. Not to compete with them. No, the usage of my terminology here. They're not trying to compete. They're just trying to make the other side go to hell. And historically speaking, that tends to waste a lot more time and effort and money, and generally make things worse for the customers, you know, us. Having said that, yeah, I wasn't gonna mention any topics, but you could probably think of several duopolies right off the top of your head, and there's a lot of examples of those. Because, logically speaking, what should be happening is both companies are then competing for us. But that's not what's happening. They just keep trying to screw over the other guy. So that's my thoughts on that. Now, I'm not sure if a monopoly is better than that. I suppose I'm just saying that both of those things suck. Yeah, pick your poison. Exactly. Because monopolies are weird, too, because monopolies are pretty obviously bad things, except when they're not. There are some specific industries where monopolies are actually good things. Usually things related to things like utilities, where there's regulation and restriction, and in other words, something other than just the free market, which is trying to keep the companies under control and ensure that they don't get into bad business practices. Exactly, Crazy Norse. I was about to say water and sewage are good examples of things that probably should be one company, one monopoly. As weird as this may sound, internet probably should be one company too. And frankly, electricity should probably be leaning in that direction as well. But you'll notice everything I'm mentioning is a utility, which is kind of the overall point. When it comes to something like soda, or, you know, movies or video games or whatever, that's a lot trickier. That's a lot more less pleasant.
Level up.
You're kidding, Brave. Part of the problem with privatizing is the argument is always leveled that privatizing is all about incentivizing. If you ever heard an economist talk about privatized industries, they don't call it privatized, they call it incentivized. If you don't understand the idea, the logic here... Jeez. The logic here is that if you give someone an incentive to do a better job, then they will do a better job by virtue of allowing them to make a profit. But reality doesn't tend to conform to that. Give me a second. Just realized I'm pretty close to the end of the stage and I don't want to die here and have to do the whole stage over again. Ooh. Oh, thank God. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. There's other ways to make profit other than by doing a good job. Like, you get the... It's one of those surface logic things I talk about all the time. On the surface level, it makes perfect sense. We're going to privatize electricity so that the customer will have the best possible electricity they can, because logically the electric companies are all going to compete with each other on providing electricity, and therefore the people involved want to make the most money possible at selling electricity, and therefore They're incentivized to do the best they can. But that's surface level thinking. That doesn't conform to reality at all. Anyways, there you are.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
I was waiting for you. How do you like living inside a memory? It's dumb. I do it all the time. My unforgettable good looks and impressive history of volunteer work. Unpaid, mind you. Keeps me forever alive in the minds of my adoring populace. Now, thanks to the nasty Genie, I'll be remembered out there and in here. Isn't it nice? A redundant backup. A 2-for-1 deal. Squee! At least as long as I make good on my end of the bargain. So Shantae is trying to stop us. Why don't you take on Wilbur and find out?
Here, boy.
Hey, Ryman, thank you always for the sub. As a reminder, you can put that towards up to 3 things with no detriment, if you would so desire to do so. Glorious one-up loop. That's funny. Cutest transformation? Oh, the mermaid, no question. No question. It's because they don't do the distortion effect, at least I think it. Because there's actually another boss, if you remember, that also has the spinning mechanic going on, and it also doesn't bother me. Damn it. That's my fault. That would be nice, but I don't know. I think egotistical narcissists, they're better than the alternative, right? I mean, at least they're not a politician. I shouldn't say anything. I'm trying to think of some of the arguments I've heard in favor of such people over the years. That was a piece of cake. Oh no, our bargain. Please let me try again. I can beat them if you give me another chance. No. And she's gone. At least she's gone. Yes, but now we know for certain that Shantae sent Holly to stop us.
Oh no!
What about the good Shantae? Who knows if she even exists anymore? Don't say things like that. Come on, let's keep searching.
Nice.
Yes! Not bad!
Hey, look over there. Oh my god, they're swinging their hips in time. Keep our station. I flew Shantae here to stop an act of sabotage. Doi, it was my race tickets that got us here. Abner and Poe still haven't forgiven me for giving the tickets to you two instead. See, I was sacrificing for the team before any of this. You shouldn't even be here if you weren't if you'd been helping from the beginning. Hold up, this is us before, right? So why does Roddy look so strange? Oh yeah, look at that. You look alive.
What?
Like I'm not a zombie. What does this mean? Evidently Shantae knew you in the past and never mentioned it. That's interesting, actually. The idea that Shantae still sees Roddy as the girl from the previous game. I suppose that's how she remembers you. Not possible. Although, that does kind of explain why she's so nice to me. Especially when other people run away. Right, I mean, she sees you for you. She's also honest. Like how she sees you as the weak little crybaby.
Come on. Here's egg in your face.
Wait, what? That's your battle cry? Here's egg in your face? Alright, this time it's time to kill the Kickstarter backers. Die, Kickstarters. You don't belong in this world. Interesting question. I wonder where in U.S. law it states that you have to be a citizen to be president. I'm not saying it doesn't. I know it does. What I'm trying to say is that where the law is changes how that law gets changed. Some things are easier to change than others. If it's in the Constitution, then Musk is probably screwed. That's not getting changed anytime soon. Who goes there? No one's allowed this past this point. Ammo Baron's orders. I think you're right on that point. It's hilarious. The second point you made. I do find it amusing because the whole point, to my knowledge, of the required citizenship theme was to avoid the, you know, French king of Spain situation. Whether that succeeded or not is a little bit more debatable, but interesting to think about. Especially given how common that was back then and how it kind of doesn't really happen anymore. You know that's true, Valerian. Oh, there is a stage left. What do you know? I wasn't gonna ding it anyways, but that is nice to know. We're still not getting all the things. Let's just get through this. We've got a whole other Shantae game to get through, and I would like to get through it today. Excuse me, not through it. I have no idea what to expect with the next one, honestly. I know it had a really short development time, which we'll talk about. And I know it was funded by Apple, in part. And was exclusive to the freaking phone for 6 months, which sounds awful, if I'm being honest. The idea of playing a platformer on the phone sounds like some kind of hell to me, and I should know because I have. I've actually played Mega Man games on my phone. It sucks. I mean, at this point, that's kind of what I'm expecting for the next Shantae game. Funded by the Epic Games Store. Cool. That sucks. So, basic hit, which also does, like, I don't know, crushing damage or whatever. The grapple thing from Bionic Commando, and that's actually it. She, of course, has the teleport and the heal and the big hit. She hits harder than anybody else. She does chip damage, but also has the glide and the Mega Platform. I can't make that. That's crazy. How the hell am I supposed to make that jump? Alright, whatever. Ah. That guy just jumped to his death. Not that I blame him. If only I, too, could jump to my death. Alas. There we go. In. In. There we go. Hello? They just made a dick now again. Hey, Baron. Ammo, Baron. It's
Hero time.
Ammo Baron wins again. I mean, not like he's up against a lot of competition, but yeah. Whoops. Okay. Look, Aladdin can have his carpet back when he pries it from my cold, dead hands. Listen, old people can't run for mayor, okay? That would be ridiculous. Uncle Mimic, although that's still not his main name. It's still a nickname. You dickwad.
Level up.
Yes, she pulls off her leg and whacks people with it. It's hard to see at this resolution, but trust me, that is what's happening. No, 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 no. Okay. Hi, 2 minuets. No, I am not having fun. Their kit is neat, but this is just... I'm already sick of this, and I already want to move on. I believe one more stage after this, and then we'll get to the actually unique stage. No. 100% no. 2 minuets. There's no way. There's no way in hell we're going to finish this game, and then start a second game, and then finish the second game, and then start a third game today. That's not in the cards. Like, I know I'm pretty fast at games, but I ain't that fast. Cocaine would just make me play worse. Like, seriously, if you imagine playing video games on cocaine, that sounds like just... Ugh, that sounds awful. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously playing this immediately after playing through the game is not exactly ideal, but it's not like there's a lot of options there. Either way, I stand by my overall statement. I don't think these stages are really improved in any particular way, and I don't think I'm going to be giving any positives for level design or otherwise. I also kind of wish I could just get on with this. But... unfortunately, there's no skip forward button. You're up early! Exclamation mark. Still on Shantae, Gamma. Game 4 of 5 at this point, period. No judgment, obviously, but I'd kind of rather shoot myself than play a game while high. That just sounds just really terrible to me. No, Lord Harrow. This right here is what I would sound like if I played a game while high.
Out of my way. Ready.
Okay, so have you noticed what's happening? When you first respawn, it acts like you took damage. So you have an invuln period. So if you fall to your death while you're in that invuln period, you actually take no damage. That's interesting. That's almost assuredly unintentional and just a byproduct of how the game calculates damage. But that's funny. Thank you, Linkelda. Always appreciate. If you know what up to 3 things you want to put that towards, please let me know. You'll never stop me from committing suicide. Okay. Take 87. Oh, and I don't think Tony Stark would work all that well here, personally. I mean, he'd be in a cave with a box of scraps. He can't do any of that. Yeah, the guessing game is locked down because we were in the outro, and then this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would, to be very blunt about it. Like, I figured we'd be done, like, I don't know, half an hour ago. We've still got several stages to go. I don't know. I thought it increased our damage, but it appears to only increase some of our damage. So, I'm not 100% sure what levels get us. See, now we're doing 7 instead of 6, but that's not true for all of them. So only some of them do more damage. Like, Sky throws more birds, for example. I don't know, that's weird. Levels are per character. Notice she's level 1, but she's level 2. Still doing 7 damage, though. There are 4 levels per character, I'll go and tell you that, because I've noticed that. That was almost irritating. Literally the last screen. I hope you actually like them! Exclamation mark. I mean, let's call this what this is. This was a stretch goal. It is, in the interest of fairness, a little astonishing it is as well developed as it is, because it's a stretch goal. That's another thing. Like, I hate to keep complaining, but we have different levels and different mana, but same health. Which feels like a design choice, but at the same time, why? I do, act. You got it, Linkhelda. I did not see it. Usually the rule I have is if I don't say anything out loud, then I didn't see it. Kind of a double check system. So, Jack Block, Ratchet, and Clank Trilogy, and Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. You got it. Thank you again, Linkhelda, very much. They only have one functional brain between them. They count as one person. You know... I mean, even a system where... Let me use a direct example of something that would be a nice feature that would make this better. All the way back in Mega Man 6, there was this system... where you could get a power-up. I think it was actually Mega Man 4 introduced it, but I know 6 had it. But what it was if you got weapon energy, it would automatically shunt that weapon energy to a weapon you don't have currently equipped that needs the energy. Which means, rather than having to constantly swap between the person you need in order to get the mana you need on the person you're using it on, you just pick up the mana pickup, and it just goes where it needs to go. It was a nice quality of life feature, and a surprisingly decent addition to the game. And that was on the NES. Which I will continue to use that as a talking point of, there's no excuse. And not to be too harsh about it, but rather to make the point that one of the most common arguments I tend to hear is, well, you know, no excuse. If you can figure that out on the NES, you can figure that out in whatever this game came out. And vice versa. Okay. This is a good time. I didn't mention that those are instant death lasers. So if I die here, I have to do this whole freaking level over again. Just point that out for no reason. So left, right, left, right, and then that's off that. That's why. That's fine. Okay, never mind. That's easier than I thought it was. That'll be interesting to measure. How much stronger is the Switch than the NES? Like pound for pound. Measurably. Obviously the answer is a lot. How much is a lot, really? But sure. And we have to do the whole stage over again.
Let's go!
Oh no, we don't! Oh, thank God. I actually remembered. We screen transitioned. I'm honestly shocked. Thank God we have infinite eggs, huh? Can you imagine? What else to make this mode better? Playing as Uncle. I don't know. Because we already got Risky, which is the obvious answer. She had her own entire mode where she played like it was the second game. Or the third game, excuse me. Last it all. That ship cost billions of crowdfunded dollars. Hello, ladies.
Huh?
What about me? Sorry, fella. Didn't hardly see you there. Look, we're at max capacity, kids. How about you step aside and make room for a real man? Eyes on the prize, ladies. Yep. No one can resist a man in uniform. Citation needed. I got a flying carpet uniform and about a dozen animated movie tracks to choose from. Ammo Baron's gonna show you the world. We're gonna soar over and under clouds, fly low, and drag our fingers in a lake. All that garbage.
Pass.
I'm in. Seriously?
Psych!
What? You'd skip out on a heartfelt musical number with yours truly? Fine. In that case, witness the fury of Ammo Baron Scorned! Shining, shimmering soldier. Okay, you got me that. And we're done. Ever Crisis? Is that the FF7 remaster? If so, then no. I'm curious about it, but everything I've read about it is bad. Like, bad signs all around. Like, I cannot imagine it's actually going to be good. I look forward to being wrong, but... I didn't know fish went with ravioli. Exclamation mark. I hope it's tasty. Period. I honestly wasn't aware it was even out yet. Which I suppose says something. I don't know, they might take that as a challenge, Darkrai. fact that it doesn't refill your mana is at least part of the problem. If it did, I would have a much better shot at this, because I'd have 2 heals to deal with this. Instead, I have 0. So I'm going to play pretty conservatively. See how this works out. Yeah, I'd make a politician's joke there, but not all the way. Space here. Wow, we literally attack slower at this level. That's what I'm expecting, Walker. Good morning, Solo Cat Plasma. What happened? Nothing, apparently.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
See, that's what's gonna happen. That's what we're gonna say about Ever Crisis. Alright, where to now? When Roddy left to watch the End of the World show, I stayed behind. You're lucky, I was left behind because of her. You should have told us what Hypno Baron was planning from the beginning. I had to walk all the way to his castle on foot. I was promised new legs, and now I'm gonna take them. Try it. Come on, you two. Hands to yourselves. Hypno Baron's castle should be the final memory. Can we do this one more time? Fine. That's the spirit.
Not bad.
Nice.
Here it is, Hypno Baron's castle. Now before we dive in, let's go over what we know. Each of these memories is an attempt by Shantae to stop us. But surviving each one brings us closer to a single pivotal moment in time. What would that moment be? The very instant before she was ambushed by risky boots and turned to evil. We have to warn her, stop the change before it happens. And then what? I'm not sure. Hopefully that'll snap her out of it when we all go home.
And what if we mess up?
And she turns evil all over again. Won't we just end up jumping into her brain like we did before?
No!
We get trapped in the nightmare realm forever. Maybe best not to think about it. Let's just make sure we don't fail, okay? Yeah, no, I've never failed in this mode. Fine. As usual, those things hurt like hell. Frickin' mimics. What's TG8S? I mean, I don't mean to keep re-emphasizing this point, but this is a stretch goal. Now, whether it should have been a stretch goal or not, that's a little more debatable, but the point is, once this became a stretch goal, they were kind of locked in.
Nice.
I'm just glad they actually did bother to develop it. Although, well, I have a theory about that, which I'll save until the next game. What, you dumb bat? Come on. Yeah, guesses have been locked since yesterday, actually. And I don't really see the need to unlock them. The score is only going to change by a very minute amount at this point. Frickin' mimics. It has added one positive yet. Okay. No, Darkrai is correct. This is essentially padding out the timer without adding many positives to make up for it. It's going to lower the density pretty much across the board. That's weird. Who knows, Trihexia? Who knows? The real question is if this slime girl is going to eat me alive, which is kind of gross. The real question is how much will this DLC stretch goal thing drag down the score of the next game? See you around, Sean. Have good errands. I'm just being coy, Lord Hermon. Oh my god, do you mind? How much health do you have? God damn. Anyways, I'll just give it away. I don't feel like, because I got nothing else to talk about right now anyways. So, I think that the development time and lack of budget on this game will have a deleterious effect on the development of the next game. I actually even have a few tidbits of, I don't want to call it evidence, but evidence that indicates that. Now, we'll see. The next game may just be fine. Who knows? I've seen it, I've played it. But that is what I think is going to happen. Okay, next level. Woo. Not looking forward to doing this stage with these characters. Okay.
Let's go!
Resetting my health. That shouldn't have happened. In case you missed that, I threw the head accidentally into the level transition screen, and that was apparently sufficient to qualify as flinging it off screen, aka take damage. Could you stop, please? Thank you. sucks. And we have to start over again. Oh my god. So, I'm reading up. There is actually a stage. In fact, there's 3 stages after this. I'm totally cool with letting this game beat me. I have no pride in the matter. What I'm looking at is the next few stages, and these look bad. Like, just looking at these stages looks really, really bad. Imagine doing a lengthy and extensive stage with no mid-mission checkpoints whatsoever, and instant death spikes and pits everywhere, which means having to redo the entire stage all over again. And if that sounds familiar, that sounds like every other final stage in this freaking franchise. So, you know what? Let's get on with it. Now, the fun thing is I spent some time this morning doing the audit. So we don't actually have to do anything else there. We just have to tabulate. Here. I'm glad the optional modes exist for people who want more gameplay. Cool. We're done here. Spoilers, we save Shantae, and she's like, yay! And she actually says, yay! In exactly that tone of voice. It's very strange. Is it under S? It's under S. There we go. I mean, I'm sure you can make fish work with ravioli. ... Either way, I love you. Period. Full hugs! Exclamation mark. Interesting. At least in part because the optional mode, this is actually the longest of the Shantae games to date. We did 100% the base game, but we also did that the last time, too. So. Then again, if you chopped off the optional modes, that would chop that down to being the shortest of the Shantae games. That probably says something by itself. Isn't it the song we were just listening to? I thought it is. Let's do that instead. Interesting. God damn it. So, +8 to story. With regards to the Shantae games in general, let's do this here really quick. That puts it above Risky's Revenge, and of course the original, but pretty solidly behind Pirate's Curse by like half. Pirate's Curse got +17 to story, whereas Half Genie Hero got 8. 0.7 density, 83% ratio. Also, that's the lowest ratio we've had in the series so far. So, the most negatives to story we've had so far. Gameplay-wise, best gameplay. This doesn't surprise me. It's got the most modern conveniences, and there's actual level design. For the most part, the bosses are not bullcrap, and the kit is excellent. So, yeah. Fairly solid +21 to gameplay. No shop there. 2.03 to density, and 71% with regards to ratio. Can I get a drum roll, please? Shantae 1 scored a -17, which it deserved. Shantae 2 got an 18, which was Shantae 3 got a solid 78, which leaves Shantae 4 getting dramatic pause. Because this is the question, do you think this scored better or worse than the previous game? The answer is better, barely. Previous game got a 78. This game got an 81. And looking at it, that actually tracks and makes sense to me, because it just did so much better on the gameplay axis. Well, it certainly lost a lot of points on the story axis, and it deserved to. It was just a substantially less frustrating experience to play through, even with some of the bullcrap. Now let's see. Where are we at on the guessing game? I have some post paperwork to do, of course, as soon as I figure out who won here. Looks like that's I have to do some math to figure out who guessed correctly here. Looks like that is going towards Ect and the PMD log. You won by like 0.125 or something like that. Really had to look at that one. Because you and Five were very, very, very close to each other. But yes, you won. Congrats. Okay, I'm gonna do paperwork. We'll be back for the final game of the series, and we'll see how this one handles, because, I mean, I have no idea. Although I have a feeling it's not going to be great.